Your club travelling so far in season 2013 as we approach round 7. Is that right, Mr. Trout?
I'm pretty sure it is.
We're going to go through the whole 18 clubs, and we're going to let you know what we think, how you're going. Does that make sense, Mr. Trout?
Yeah, just a bit of an update on the teams, on how we see on our perspective that the way that they're performing throughout the year so far, and possibly a little bit of a vision down the track on that team.
Absolutely. Now, Trout will go from top to bottom, Essendon. Going great guns, but the cloud of the dark cloud of all this drug business. No one knows what's going to happen to Essendon in 2013. But at the moment, you would have to say that Essendon are playing great football. They're a strong side, fast-running side, and if Asada don't bring back their report before the end of the season, you would say that Essendon are certainly finalists in 2013, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I think so. Look, no club wants to be in a position they're in, even though I hate them as much as I do. But the end of the day is that I can't see it being sorted out by the end of the season. I don't think the AFL will take points off them because of footy betting and all that sort of stuff. So I think what we'll do is they'll have the report will come in. They'll find out that Essendon's had some substance given to them that the players weren't aware of and the club possibly wasn't aware of, and then the SADA and WADA will come in and say their verdict. But I think the AFL will hit down on them hard at the end of the season, and I think that they're going to pay a big fine and possibly very hefty draft picks over the next 2 years.
The Trout has spoken. Now, their season could well be decided with the pending game on the weekend, Geelong and Essendon. It'll be a beauty. And no, we're not doing tips, but Trout has decided to chuck in his tips as well. Trout, let's move down the ladder. We spent too much time on Essendon already. Geelong, absolutely going great guns. You've got to give it to Geelong. Their recruiting has been excellent. They're playing tough football. Geelong football they're playing. And they are certainly grand finalists, Trout, at this stage.
I'd say so. They're a pretty solid unit. The amazing thing about Geelong is that I heard a stat that there was more guys that played less than 50 games in Richmond on the weekend. So their depth is pretty strong. So the guys that have been hungry sitting back in the long term in the reserves that haven't got those senior games, when they get a crack, they have a crack, and they certainly want to hold those spots and make it harder for the older boys to get back in. So I would say, without a doubt, both those sides are playing on Friday night. I think we're going to be finals contenders and probably possibly top 4.
Great days if you're a Geelong supporter. Next club, Trout, we'll look at will be Port Adelaide. How do you think Port are going so far as we approach round 7?
I think they've had the great honeymoon period. I think that's new coaches come in. They're really enthusiastic. They got the fitness guy that Richmond wanted, and we went after. We couldn't get him, and they got him, and he's done a really good job. We all know what happens with the young players and all that sort of stuff when a period of time comes up, like Essendon did a few years ago, and they run out of legs late in the year. So yeah. I think when that week comes, we won't know. Possibly they could get up this week, but I'm not going to sort of pick my tips this week, but I'm just going to let you know that who's doing well.
Yes, Trout, and I agree with you. I think Port's bubble burst last week, Trout. I think that they will they be finalists? Will Port Adelaide make the finals?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think there's too many key factors going against them. They really need to win against North on the weekend to really sum that up.
Right. All right. Well, we've talked about Port, Trout. I don't think they're any good. Sydney. Oh, gee, they're there under the radar again, aren't they? Sydney. I mean, we're talking about.
I thought Port was playing. Oh, you're going off the ladder, right?
Yeah, no, we're going down the ladder, Trout. We're doing a summary on how we think all clubs are going, Trout, from top to bottom.
Yes.
And you can chuck your tips in along the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what was that noise, Trout? In the side street just near my house, I heard a car start up.
Oh, I hope it wasn't. You got a lot of stock, are you?
Sydney Swans, once again, Trout, we're talking about they seem to be able to just hide under that radar. We're talking about the Franklins, we're talking about the Collingwoods, the Geelongs, the Port Adelaides, the Fremantles, and here's Sydney. No one's talking about them, but they're fourth on the ladder.
Yeah, well, they get the late start through the 6 weeks extra off, so you really don't get a good summary on them. Obviously, they won the flag last year, so we know that they're a good.
Did they?
They're good.
Yes.
They beat
We
Hawks.
know.
But
Yes.
you know, so they did really well last year, and then they're quite happy. They're in a great position just to come back through the start of the season, just taking it easy. So
They're still going
they'll
well.
definitely finish up there as well in the high top 6.
Yep. Now, would you like to?
I wasn't coming today, but
Oh, I made you.
We did. Yeah, 5 phone calls.
That's Collingwood dominance, Trout.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, next team we're going to discuss is the Mighty Hawks with an out-of-form Buddy Franklin. I still think Hawthorn are very good, Trout, and Hawthorn are certainly finalists. Sydney are finalists, by the way. We didn't adjudicate on whether or not we think Sydney will be in the finals, but they will be. Hawthorn will be in the finals, don't worry about that. Rioli's a big loss. The former Franklins are worried, but they are finalists. Trout.
Yeah, I think so. We've got the grand final rematch coming up, and I think Hawthorn are just yet to kick into that second gear where Sydney's been sort of got through on that. I reckon the Hawks will get up on this one as a thriller. Sydney like to choke the game down, and the Hawks like to do that open paddock run a bit along the wing there. So I think Cyril's going to be missed, but I think the Hawks have got enough depth and smart football brains, and Luke Hodge, he's coming back into a bit of form, so I think this will suit him down to the ground.
Is Franklin more concerned about where he will be next year, Trout? Is he focused on this season at Hawthorn?
Well, we know a lot of players continually talking contracts. Most of them usually go to another club. I think Buddy will stay at the Hawks. I think that's all. He's just trying to show a bit of muscle and a bit of pressure and all that sort of stuff. What happened there?
TikTok, Trout.
TikTok. I'm going getting there.
We've got 15 minutes. Now, we'll Fremantle, yes, Fremantle. Can you hold that up again, Trout?
I don't know, what was it? I was just sure.
I'll have to go through the bit to see that. Now, Fremantle are the real deal on the coach. What's his name again, Trout? Fremantle coach, next to kill the coach.
Oh, that it's not Stan Ells, it's the other guy.
You tipped Freo against the Pies? Trout.
I thought we weren't doing tipping.
Shame on you, Trout.
Yeah, now over there.
Fremantle,
Ross Lyons over there.
Ross Lyons.
We would Spain.
Fremantle are the real deal. Fremantle will be finalists, Trout. They're going great guns. And this is going to be a tough game for Collingwood. Collingwood are playing well, but we'll get on to that in a minute. Fremantle finalists, Trout? Yes? Going okay?
They might just scrape in, but I think it's going to be close. I think the draw's not going to really help them. And if they drop a couple of home games, which they nearly dropped against us, we should have won. But
and without fight this weekend, it brings Collingwood into the equation. Now let's talk about Collingwood, Trout. It's my opinion we're not playing well yet. I know it's been well documented that we have a load of injuries and we've got problems in that area. Players are starting to come back. The loss of Tooby for 12 months won't help us. I don't think we're going as well as what we would have expected, Trout.
What about the big forward you got, Travis Cloak?
Flakes. He's killing them. Now, Travis Cloak, don't worry about that. Collingwood will be finalists. They will not miss the finals. They'll make the finals. But I think the second half of the season, Trout, will tell us where Collingwood is in 2013. Your opinion?
Cloak's been here before, because I thought he had his donkey in the kitchen.
There'll be another donkey in the kitchen in a minute.
Oh.
Trout, Collingwood, yes or no? Finalist?
Oh yeah, they should make it. They should do really well and all that sort of stuff. And all the jokes about Collingwood and the no teeth and all that sort of stuff. Just let you know that Joffa lives next door to a dentist next door, and he won't go because it's for travel reasons.
He's a lazy bastard. Carlton, Trout.
Your favourite there, and
I'll tell you what.
Mickey Blue Eyes has got them going pretty well there.
They're going all right. You know what Carlton's problem will be? When they get a few big injuries, their season will dwindle away. But at the moment, they're going great guns. Finalists at the moment, yes. Let's put Carlton on hold until later on in the season, Trout. But at the moment, they're going well.
Oh no, they're doing perfect because the new coach comes in. We all know when a new coach comes to the club, you either play really well or you play really poor.
Yeah.
I think they've played well, but they just haven't been able to get points.
Yep.
And
but their depth is a problem. Their depth is a major problem. So all them Carlton supporters.
Who died?
Their depth.
Oh, the depth.
Depth.
Oh, yeah, it's all right.
Trout.
That's my bad here.
Injury-free, yes, they'll have a great season and be finalists.
Yep, I think
Injury-free.
so. I hope so.
Now, Trout, outside the 8, Trout. Let's travel outside the 8, and we come to, well, I guess he's in 9 spot, Trout.
Oh, well, you've got to own something.
Now, let me talk about Richmond, Trout, because I think Richmond are a very good side. I think we won't talk too much on last week, because it's been well spoken of by everyone in Melbourne. They were hard done by last week again in Free.
It was the week before.
The week
Geelong
before. Geelong last week. And you weren't disgraced against Geelong, Trout.
Yeah, I thought we fell away. We lost the plot, the old schoolboy, when you took a little bit because things don't go your way in that third quarter. There, a couple of things didn't go our way. We didn't stand up.
It's really well the liability to this Richmond side.
No, absolutely not. He draws the best defender. The other guys need to stand up.
Is he a front runner, Trout? Does he kick goals when Richmond are playing well and in front? Is he a front runner? Can you rely on him to win you a game coming from behind?
Well, I think he's done that in the past years when he's won the Coleman and all that sort of stuff. We've been down and out and he's come up and kicked a bag of goals. You've got to remember one thing too. He's chipped the ball to the little forwards more than he's done in the last couple of years, and I think he's sacrificing his game, and he's got to go back to having
finals,
a shot.
Richmond finals this year.
We get up this week and knock off Port. I'd say yeah, we're back on track. We just need to get that monkey off our back, and
Richmond definitely finals. Now, Trout, because of your gob, we're running out of time again.
Not me. Go quick.
West Coast, yes or no finals?
Don't know if they're going to be finals. Where are they sitting? They possibly could.
No finals for West Coast in 2013, Trout. North Melbourne, Trout, yes or no?
They've got a hard draw. I don't think.
And I think them early losses haven't done them any good.
No depth.
Adelaide, Trout, the big disappointment of 2013. No, can't make the finals, but you've gone from to beat who by 31?
Who are they playing?
Melbourne.
Should have put 61.
No, they're not playing Melbourne. Gold Coast, no.
Yeah, no, Gold Coast, I think will get up this week, a little bit of an up.
Yes, but they're not finalists, Trout.
No,
they can't make the finals.
No, they can't make the finals.
Brisbane. How come Michael Voss is still a coach of the Brisbane Football Club, Trout?
Because as I said the other week, he'll coach all the way to the end of the season, and you'd be stupid to sack a coach this time of the season.
Why?
Well, you've got to pay him out, and then you've got to pay someone else to do the job.
They're
not pulling the crowds.
And Brisbane don't have the money, do they?
I don't think so.
No, they haven't got the money. St Kilda, Trout, no, not this year. St Kilda still rebuilding, Trout.
Yeah, no, a couple
Saints.
Kaczynski out, a big bloke, and they've got no one really to replace him. I think they get fined. Lenny Hayes, what a shock that was. Oh my gosh.
Although they played very well against Collingwood last week, but that may be more to the reason that Collingwood don't play well at Etihad Stadium, and St Kilda, well, that's virtually their home ground. Trout moved down the ladder to the poor old Western Bulldogs. Not this year for the Bullies. I hope he doesn't sing again. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. Bulldogs, Trout. Poor old Bullies. 5 minutes down the road, Trout, the Mighty Bullies.
A wooden spoon, I reckon, this year.
Melbourne, the Mighty D's.
Yeah, no, they're not travelling too well. Still stick with Neil because you see the year out and make an assessment at the end of the year. You've got Chris Dawes, you've got the guy from Brisbane.
Chris Dawes? What's he going to do for Melbourne, Trout?
Well, I'm just saying that's what they've picked. They need to play him for the rest of the year, see what he can do, and and start to teach him a better decent football than he got taught at
Trout, the great Northern experiment. We've got one club on the ladder, winless. GWS, what's going on?
Well, there's a lot to like about them. They give Essendon a bit of a run on the weekend in the first half.
Yes.
And that Jeremy Cameron, I tell you what, he'll win the Coleman one year and possibly, do really well. He's a very, very good footballer. They've been saying to him on the radio today, he's a bit like Royce Hart, comes in on the side of the back and takes the mark and all that sort of stuff.
Geez, you good body talk, Trout. I tell you what, mate.
All right, we're going to hurry up and cut off.
We've got 45 seconds to go. This is Trout and Joffa. We hope you've enjoyed this special Round 7 preview of how we think your club is going so far in 2013. Trout, you've got 30 seconds. Get that gob flapping, mate.
So all the Tiger fans out there, make sure you get to the game coming up in the next couple of weeks and let that Dreamtime game and outnumber those Essendon fans because we don't like them.
The Fighting Fury, we're from Tiger Land. Okay, adios.